is all yours.
Wonderful, thank you. And yeah, definitely we want to hear from the tax person, Sabina, because if you're paying taxes, you are a good business. I love tax-paying businesses, isn't it? So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here. So, Shailesh, can I say thank you to you for this great initiative that you have taken. And as you saw before, I was at the Auckland launch as well. So when I went to Auckland launch, I thought that was the only launch for the whole country. And I didn't know that there were going to be different launches in different cities. This is actually really exciting because it gives opportunity to local businesses to come and connect, makes it easier for all businesses to do this. So thank you for that initiative. I want to acknowledge our Consul General from India, Dr. Madhav Mohan Sethi. Thank you, Sethi, for that overview of the FTA with India. And it was my privilege to be part of the delegation, parliamentary delegation that went recently to India to witness the signing ceremony that happened. So I'm really excited to see the opportunities that this FTA is going to bring for our both countries, that is India and New Zealand. And I want to acknowledge all other speakers too. Great to see you all. And most importantly, I want to acknowledge all the business owners here. So thank you for the hard work that you do. Because when you own a business, I can tell you that it just changes your life. Your life is no longer the same life that is before you own a business. And I can tell you from my own experience, because since I landed here in New Zealand, my family has owned a business. So they owned the business before I landed and joined my family here. So it's been more than 30 years I have been in a business family. So retail business, manufacturing business, and you can understand that when you're manufacturing something, it's a very different kind of business from other kinds of businesses. You have to navigate so many regulations at so many different levels. And I want to talk about that too. But before that, I want to say this, that look, you all people, those who are in businesses, you are the people, those who don't only talk about economy, because you are the people, those who actually build the economy. And our SMEs, as you have explained the full form, you are the individuals and people, actually those who are the economy. Because most of our SMEs, whether it is entrepreneurs or enterprises, they are around 95%, right, of our businesses. So that's a really big chunk of businesses in New Zealand that fall in that group. So you are the economy, and we need you all to do well. And it is our job in government to make sure we take this understanding from the ground level to Parliament to ensure that we are implementing things that are going to back our businesses. Because I can tell you that economy doesn't grow in Wellington. If you keep inflating bureaucracy, it's not going to grow the economy. How economy grows is by backing people like you, those who are running your businesses, whether it's a workshop, a cafe, or a restaurant, or a manufacturing business. I know air conditioning business here. I know I was talking to Frederick Ross before, who is doing work in the clinical field. So you're the kind of businesses, those who are actually growing the economy. And in Wellington, it's our job to back people like you. And so how do we back you? How do we back you? By making policies that understand business. And so your advocacy work becomes really important there, because I want to hear more from you all as well, what else can be done. But given we have been in government, I'm an ACT member of Parliament, which is one of the parties in the coalition government, we have been doing things which are backing businesses. And this is about getting the fundamentals right? So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the 90-day probation period, which we have introduced for all businesses. And why it matters? It matters because when businesses think of hiring a staff, you can imagine what's going on in their mind. It's very optimistic thought, isn't it? It's because your business is growing, that's why you're thinking of hiring a staff. Or maybe your business has already grown to the extent that you can't handle it without more staff. So it's a positive thing, right? And we want to support that because you're taking the risk of investing in your business, hiring more people. And that line you said, it's not about individuals growing, it's about everybody else growing as well. So when one business grows, everybody else involved in that business, everybody else in that supply chain, they all grow. So we have reinstated 90-day probation for all businesses so that you can take a chance on someone who you're not sure after you have interviewed them. Give them a chance, employ them, without fearing that if it ends up into a mistake, it's not going to be a costly mistake. And it works for that person as well, because that person gets the opportunity to gain some experience in that work, right? Local experience becomes really important, especially for migrant communities. It gives a really good chance to people, those who come from overseas and want to gain local experience. Second thing, I want to talk about regulations. And I know we had that discussion just before when we were networking. You know how many regulators we have across New Zealand? Any guesses? Just last week, the Minister for Regulations, our Deputy Prime Minister David Seymour, revealed we have more than 260 regulators across New Zealand. So that's why when you find it really difficult who to reach out to when you're trying to do something, not this agency, actually 5 or 6 of agencies, that's what we want to stop. We want to simplify things. We want to simplify compliance. We want to make sure the approvals happen faster. So these things will happen if we cut red tape. So that's really important. Because at the moment, businesses are spending so much time doing that paperwork. And that paperwork is not adding to productivity. That is basically lost opportunity. Because when you're spending that kind of time to do paperwork, you are not focusing on your customers. It's taking away from that. And these kind of losses that happen, this kind of spending that happens, doesn't just sit on spreadsheets. You business people will know. That means you can't increase somebody's wage. You can't hire more staff because you're invested in just doing that paperwork. So we want to make compliance simpler. That's point number 2. Point number 3, business is about investment, right? Your business will grow if more investment comes. Like through FTA, what we are looking for is more investment coming here, more investment going from there, a two-way connection, right? So when investment happens, it's not only about money coming from another country, it's technology, it's expertise, it improves productivity, it will increase wages as well. So we believe in seeing that wages are increasing because the economy is growing. Because we can sit there and legislate, okay, this should be the minimum wage. If we do that, it's not going to be sustainable if our economic growth is not able to back that. And for that, that is why I said, it's about getting the fundamentals right. One other point I want to touch on is safety of businesses. You remember, in the last term, there were so many big protests happening because of law and order situation, which was out of control. And there were so many, people out there. There were some people, those who had actually decided to close their shop for a day, lose that revenue, their day's income, to be part of that protest because they were so desperate to be heard. So in government, we have made a number of changes to restore law and order. And one of the policies that I drafted and announced was about introducing a tag on sole charge workers as an aggravating factor in the Sentencing Act. I'm very happy to share this with you that that's a law now. So if you're working by yourself, it could be a dairy, it could be a restaurant, anywhere. And if you have a dwelling attached to it, that adds to it as well. It applies to bus drivers and taxi drivers as well. Because those people don't have any place to run away to hide. Because if you go in your house to hide, you're exposing your whole family to that offender, and that shouldn't happen. So that's positive news for safety, and there are a number of other things we have changed, but I won't be able to cover that in the limited time I have. And I'm already speaking fast so that I can get my points across. But very, very finally, yes, this is budget week. And budget, as you know, is really important. Some of the announcements have already come. And this is the budget, which you will see why it's so important. Because since we came in government, what we have done is, the first thing was to control inflation, cost of living, right? And you control that by controlling government spending. Because if you put too much money out there, everything is going to inflate. Cost of living is going to go up. So we had to control our spending. So in business, you know how you control your spending, right? In households, you know how you control your spending. The same way that government needs to control their spending. By just putting money out, we actually are increasing inflation. And the other thing I want to mention is this. To see if a policy is a good policy, you should see how much money is being spent. You should see how targeted that policy is. Just putting more money out attached to a policy doesn't mean it's a great policy. So for business people, what we want to do is, we want to actually Get out of your way. We want you guys to do what you do really well. We want to back you guys to do that hard work. If there are any barriers, we want to remove those barriers. And sometimes governments, with too many regulations, can create those barriers. So I really want to hear some really success stories from you all. And at the same time, really looking forward to the work that you do, taking this to the next level, advocating for policies that are needed to support businesses. I'm all ears for that. Very happy to have a catch up with you all. Anybody, reach out to me. My email is my first name, parmjeet.parmar@parliament.gov.nz. Just keep in mind the spelling of Parmjeet. It's P-A-R-M, not P-A-R-A-M, because normally what happens, people spell my name P-A-R-A-M, and then they see me at an event and say, we emailed you, but we didn't hear back from you. And when you check the email, actually it didn't come to me because there was a spelling error. So yeah, so please note my email, reach out to me anytime. I would love to hear from you all because I really want to back you all. I really want to see you all succeed. So once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. And finally, I want to say my apologies because I won't be able to stay here till the end of the event because I have to go back to and I'm on an early flight tomorrow morning. So thank you once again, Shailesh, and everybody.